James Nelson Williams, known as James D-Tran Williams, was born January 21st, 1962, in Brooklyn, New York. From an early age, James immersed himself in music, singing in church.
I started singing when I was like about 6 years old at Washington Temple Church of God in Christ over there on Bedford and Bergen Street in Brooklyn under Bishop Washington. So we grew up in that big mega church.
Eventually, James picked up the jazz guitar at 10 years old.
When I was a kid growing up, Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 came on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yep.
And they were black kids who looked like me. And I was like, wow, I can do this. After watching Jermaine play the guitar, the bass guitar, I kept walking around my father's house with a broomstick because I wanted to be like Jermaine. And my father would laugh at me. He said, "Do you really want to play the guitar?" And I said, "Yes, I do." He went down Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn, brought me a guitar, and they put me in guitar lessons.
In high school at Erasmus Hall, his strong presence as a defensive tackle on the football team earned him the nickname D-Train, referencing the Brooklyn subway line. While James was making his mark in Brooklyn, another young talent was honing his skills miles and miles away. Hubert Eaves III, a multi-instrumentalist from St. Paul, Minnesota, grew up surrounded by music. Hubert was introduced to music by his father, Hubert Eaves Jr., a jazz pianist.
My dad always had a guitar. He always would play when we were very young. You know, I would say I remember from as long as I can remember, 8, 9 years old. My dad, once we were all in bed and all, he would go into the kitchen of our little small apartment and pull out his acoustic guitar and he would just play and he would sing and play. And, you know, he played like blues and very soulful type music. And I would just listen to him. And so it was always around, and he made sure we had a piano in the house because he played piano a little bit too. He wasn't technically trained, and honestly, neither am I. He came home one day and heard me banging on the piano, and he says it wasn't what I was banging on the piano. It was the way I was banging on the piano. That's the story he tells. So he realized that, you know, I had something, whatever that was, that he in his mind, and so he started teaching me what he knew.
Mastering keyboards and drums, he began his career as a session and touring musician. By the late 1970s, Hubert was known for his ability to blend soul, funk, and electronic sounds. Prior to D-Train, Hubert was a band member of the band Mtume during the 1970s. He played keyboards for the group, contributing to their distinctive blend of R&B, funk, and jazz influence. His time with Mtume helped him to refine his skills as a keyboardist, producer, and arranger, which laid the groundwork for his later success with D-Train. With a solid reputation as a professional musician, Hubert eventually crossed paths with James through a mutual friend, Will Downing, sparking a partnership that shaped the sound of the early 80s R&B and dance music.
Will Downing was in high school. He went to Erasmus High School. He got in touch with me and said, Mr. Eaves, would you, consider, helping me out doing this demo that I'm doing? He told me that he was going to bring in his friend who was a background singer. He would use him for backgrounds.
I got a call from Will Downing one day, who I went to high school with. I was in my first year of college. Will was still in Erasmus in his last year. "Can you come in and sing backgrounds on it?" I said, "Sure, I'd love to." I meet him at the studio. I start singing backgrounds, and he said, "I want you to do some step-out leads." I said, "Okay." The door opens up to the studio room, and Hubert Eaves walks in. He didn't meet me yet. And Will was going to introduce me at the end of the song. Will said, "All right, D, go ahead." Boom. So start playing the track, and I was like, yeah. And Hubert was like, he was amazed for the rest of the session until I was finished. And at the end of the session, he's like, "Yeah, man, good job." Will calls my house that night. "D, man, Hubert loved your voice. He's so excited, man. Man, he wants your number. Is it okay if I give him your mom's number? Because back then you didn't have cell phones." So I said, "Sure, man, call my mom's house and I'll talk to him." So we made a meeting to meet the very following weekend.
The two quickly connected through their shared love of music and decided to form a duo in 1980. The duo recorded a demo and brought it to Prelude Records, a label specializing in post-disco dance music. The executives, impressed, signed them immediately to a recording contract. D-Train emerged during a transformative period in music. Their innovative sound helped to bridge the gap between the 1970s funk and the synth-driven styles that defined very much of the 80s. In late 1981, D-Train released their debut album, You're the One for Me. It topped the Billboard dance charts for 3 weeks at number 1.
With your love by my side, the world will be mine. The one for me.
This song also gained a new audience years later when it was featured in the video game for Grand Theft Auto 5, introducing it to a new generation of listeners. Another standout single from the album, Keep On, peaked at number 2 on the dance charts and reached number 15 on the R&B chart. D-Tran returned in 1983 with their sophomore album, Music, featuring the title track which became a dance anthem, reaching the top 10 on the Billboard dance charts. The album also included their version of Carole King's So Far Away, demonstrating their ability to bring fresh interpretation to a well-loved classic. D-Tran released Something's on Your Mind in 1984. This song became their most successful on the R&B chart, reaching number 5.
I believe something's on your mind. There's something on your mind. Tell me.
D-Tran also earned a reputation for their high-energy live performances. One standout event was their performance at Discotheek Carthage in Utrecht, Netherlands. D-Tran parted ways in 1985, with James and Hubert pursuing separate musical paths. James embarked on a solo career, releasing Miracles of the Heart in 1986. The album featured Misunderstanding, a song that hit number 10 on the R&B charts. His 1988 album, In Your Eyes, included contributions from vocalist Lisa Fischer, who added depth to songs like Shadow of Another Love. In 2009, James D-Tran Williams released the album 701 Franklin Avenue, marking a return to recording after more than 2 decades. The album, named after his childhood address in Brooklyn, featured a mix of funk, soul, and contemporary R&B sounds. James collaborated with Hubert on this new album. Although D-Tran, the duo, broke up, Hubert still produced and played on James's singles and albums. After D-Tran, he focused on music production and working with various artists, creating music across a variety of genres. D-Tran's music became a staple for sampling in later years. The Notorious B.I.G. used Keep On in his track Sky's the Limit. James was inducted into the Legends of Vinyl Music Hall of Fame in 2022, recognizing his additions and talent in music. James has remained connected to his musical roots, contributing to various projects, including the Poke Rap on the official Pokemon television soundtrack, To Be a Master. He also served as a DJ for Heart and Soul Channel 51 on Sirius Satellite Radio from 2001 to 2008. In recent years, Hubert has released projects. Gospel group Virtue's Testimony. In 2024, Hubert released his album Drops Volume 1 and More Drops Volume 2, demonstrating his ongoing dedication to creating music. D-Tran's music combined electronic rhythms with James' amazing vocals and heartfelt emotion, creating songs that became woven into the fabric of Black culture and the R&B and dance landscape. These songs, filled with soul and energy, continue to stay with us decades later, preserving D-Tran's place in the history of music. James and Hubert have occasionally reunited to perform together in recent years, showing their ongoing dedication to the fans. James also continues to perform solo at events and festivals, still dropping new music from time to time. And that is the end of this video. Tell me what your favorite songs are. What did you like most about their music? Did you dance on the dance floor back in the 80s to D-Tran's music? I want to know. Put it in the comment section. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching my channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.